But first, the Prime Minister. He yesterday misled you. He misled Australians about his voice to Parliament and seriously misled them. Yesterday, Anthony Albanese insisted on 2BG Radio that if we vote for the voice later this year, Labor's kind of Aboriginal-only advisory parliament, it will have nothing to do with compensation.
No, Ben, I can't say it any clearer. Okay. Compensation it has nothing to do with what people will vote on in the last quarter of this year.
No, I'm talking about after that.
And can I make that... Well, they're not voting on any of that
No, I was just saying there are 3 stages. So after we go through the voice, is it natural to assume that as part of treaty...
No, it's not natural.
Now, that is actually completely false. It's like saying if you give someone a match, it's got nothing to do with fire. Let me tell you why. Actually, let Thomas Mayo, who's one of the activists actually appointed by the government to design this voice, let him tell you why.
The wonderful thing about the Uluru Statement, the proposal for a voice, this is the first step. It's a vital step, and it puts all the explanation behind it. Pay the rent, for example. How do we do that in a way that is transparent and that it actually sees reparations?
Okay, Thomas Mayo, one of the architects who designed the voice, says this is going to talk about reparations, but more than that, he says it's also the first step to actually getting them, as Anthony Albanese has said himself. And that's because this Uluru Statement that Thomas Mayo mentioned, drawn up by selected activists 6 years ago, says the voice is part of a 3-part revolution that these activists want to how this country is actually run. And the Prime Minister has actually told them he will deliver all 3 of their demands in full.
We rise to the moment to work with you in lifting the words off the page and lifting our whole nation up with a new spirit of partnership between government and First Nations people through the work of Makarrata, treaty making and truth-telling, and by enshrining a voice to Parliament in our Constitution.
Now, those 3 interlocking parts of this revolution, as you just heard, are the voice, this kind of Aboriginal Parliament we're about to vote on. That's coming first. Second, truth-telling, essentially a propaganda campaign. And the third is this Makarrata, an organisation to negotiate a treaty between Aborigines and the rest of us, which will inevitably include compensation as part of this settlement of a war that I can't see, but they've invented. I repeat, this is all part of the government's real agenda, Albanese's real agenda. So all linked, even if Albanese is now pretending it isn't. Now, in fact, Anthony Albanese, a couple of months ago, said himself that one of the jobs of this voice is going to indeed be to talk about the Makarrata and making a treaty.
One of the things that a voice to Parliament will be able to do is to talk about Makarrata, the need for agreement making and coming together after a conflict.
And even more than that, Albanese has already started to create that Makarrata Commission, putting it in place. His government has already handed out nearly $900,000 of your money to set up this Makarrata, to start working out a treaty and the inevitable compensation it might want. It's happening, folks. And you can just look in Victoria, because there's a warning for you. Victoria's already exactly down the same path, with exactly the results I'm warning about. And then Albanese said, oh, no, nothing to see here, folks. Victoria has set up its own First Nations Assembly, its own voice, its own kind of advisory parliament of people identifying as Aboriginal, although this version of the voice is not in any constitution, so it has less power, thank God for that. But what has this Victorian voice already done? It's got a bunch of directors of something called the First Peoples Assembly of Victoria's Self-Determination Fund, which it says has just got $35 million from the Victorian government to again help prepare negotiations over a treaty. Get the voice, you get the treaty, right? And the leaders of this first People's Assembly in Victoria, they gave an interview saying, yes, and here's the big surprise, folks, reparations or redress could form part of a truth-telling process. Well, I think we can skip the word could and add will. Will. Reparations are involved. So no, Prime Minister, you are wrong. A vote for the voice is a vote for your grand scheme, the whole package. The voice to start with, as you said, then the Makarrata Commission, as you said, the one you're already spending money on to set up, and then the ultimate aim, the treaty and that compensation, that money. Just be honest with Australians, because that is the plan. You said it before, Prime Minister. Do not deny it now.